What's going on, all you beautiful aviators? Randomet787 here. So today I thought we'd go over a little bit of extra info that we got from Flight Sim Expo regarding Flight Simulator 2024, where FS Elite actually did an interview with two of the devs from Asobo, and we got a few extra details about what we can expect in the new sim. So let's get started. Alright, kicking off, I'm not going in any particular order here with the interview, just with the notes that I jotted down. Let's talk about something that is going to probably be a little disappointing to some people, but it does seem kind of understandable, and this is regarding tornadoes. As all of you remember from the trailer from last year, there was a segment in the trailer where it showed tornadoes in the simulator. Unfortunately, that is only going to be for career mode at the moment, according to Asobo, at the moment. So that is entailing that we probably could expect to see tornadoes in real world weather at some point. They did say why they can't do this, because tornadoes are so incredibly hard to predict, and they're definitely not wrong. So it is understandable, and it does kind of stink a little bit that we can only have them in career mode, but it does sound like that they might actually try to attempt to get them in real world weather at some point, but slightly disappointing, but understandable at the same time. And one thing that's pretty interesting, as many of you know, Working Title is going to be working on an all-new in-depth flight planner for FS 2024. And believe it or not, this was actually Yorick's idea. He actually wanted players to be able to have a full-functioning flight planner without them having to pay for it. And I think that's freaking awesome and so damn consumer friendly. This just makes me respect these devs so much more. You can tell they really do care about the community. I know some people have their qualms with Asobo, but believe me, it could be so much worse than what we got. I do know Asobo does their absolute best, and don't get me wrong, I've had my frustrations with them in the past with the sim, but it is awesome to see that they are trying to still be as consumer friendly as possible. And another thing, this is going to make a lot of people happy. Asobo also said to expect more complex aircraft in the future. So what we got from, you know, the Airbus A310 from any builds, or Asobo working on the 737 MAX, they say they're going to make even more complex aircraft in the future. They're going to especially be focusing on airliners, which I think is great, but I hope they give a little bit of love still to some general aviation, because I love me my general aviation aircraft, but I think it's awesome that they're so committed to giving more hardcore type of aircraft, because the more study level it is, the better. I like it to be as realistic as possible. I'm that hardcore of a simmer, but you know, I can't blame the casual fans who just want to get in and go fly. But still, even with the study level aircraft, you can still pretty much do Control E or whatever to start the airplane, and they got built-in functionalities just to help you to get going a little bit faster. And now regarding seasons, we got a few extra details regarding seasons. So apparently stuff like grass, crops, trees, flowers, they're all going to change depending on the season and also the type of biome that you're in. So the seasons are going to affect those specific areas a little bit differently, which I think is just incredible. I don't know how they kind of pull this stuff up. This technology is just stuff that my brain can't even compute. So this is pretty impressive, but I still do actually want to see it in action. I don't want to just take it at face value. So, but from what we've seen with the Sims so far, it seems like it's pretty dead on accurate of what they're saying here. And one cool little detail, this was, I think, in regards to the seasons, I think a little bit. Apparently, you're going to be able to see tire tracks in the sim, apparently. So, like, if you, like, hard brake or something like that, you'll actually see the tire marks on the runway. So, apparently, that's what Yorick said, I believe. And I'm actually kind of excited to see what that looks like. Just a cool little detail. It's just those extra details that just that blow my mind when they even bother out of me. Like, it's not even necessary, but you know what? They do it anyway because they're passionate about it, and I can't help but freaking love them for that. And regarding waves, I touched on this a little bit in my previous video, that, you know, the waves are going to be 3D, but they clarified it even more that if you're going to be doing water landings or takeoffs, it's actually going to be a lot more difficult this time versus in the sim now where you can land and the waves really don't affect anything. This time it's actually going to have an effect. If it's bumpy and you land, if it's a rough day on the water and you land on that, you could actually end up crashing apparently. And they even said there's even stones and rocks and fields that you got to look out for because that could cause problems for your airplane too. So they're trying to make this as realistic as possible. Again, I don't know how they do that with stones and stuff like that. I mean, like even grass runways now are going to be more dangerous, which I love. That bush flying is going to be so much damn fun in this game. I mean, I don't do too much bush flying, but when I do, it's hard to stop. I'm not gonna lie. And regarding one question that a lot of people have had is that, you know, people are worried that Asobo is trying to appeal to more the gamer crowd, the casual audience. Well, they clarified on that a little bit and what they're actually doing, because a lot of people were actually kind of concerned about the career mode. Is these going to be just like missions? You're just going to be making it more video gamey? Well, here's the surprising answer that we got from Asobo. Apparently, they reached out to hardcore simmers, gamers, and casual gamers to ask them what they want in the new sim, and pretty much every single person responded. The number one thing they wanted to see was they wanted more things to do. And Asobo just said, okay, let's give them more things to do, and that's where they came in with the career mode. And like I mentioned in my last video as well, that the career mode is not going to just be these one-off missions. Like, you actually earn ranks as you go through, which I love because I love to grind on stuff and earn different ranks and show that off in potentially my profile. I would just because I'm not gonna lie, even as a glider pilot, just pilots in general, you can't blame us. We do like to brag a little bit, but you know what? It's totally justified because aviation, in my opinion, I think everyone will agree with me, it's the most challenging and disciplined and rewarding experience you could possibly ever have. And I even as a student glider pilot right now, it's just the most rewarding thing I think I've ever done. And now getting into the more techie side of things. So let's pull out all those ones and zeros here. So apparently DirectX 12. Now granted, if I can't even speak today. Granted, I'm not much of a tech savvy guy, so I don't really know how significant this is, but I do know it is significant. I apologize if you heard that freaking Windows update. Freaking hate it. So DirectX 12 is going to be running by default in this sim, and Asobo says they are working to fully optimizing it and improving it, so I can only assume this is going to mean even better performance, better frame rates, less stutters, less crashes. So they're taking advantage of all the current technology that they have, and I'm really happy to see that because performance to me is the most important thing in a flight simulator. I put that even above the immersion or even the flight model, because if you have all the immersion in the flight model but the performance sucks, what's the point of even playing it? So Asobo has their priorities straight here. And last but not least, Asobo has confirmed that we will be able to play this game a little bit early with beta tests. They haven't really gone any further in determining when that'll be or how that'll look, but they say they're going to do stuff very similar to what they did with FS 2020, where they had early beta tests so people can test the game and look for bugs and stuff like that. Me, myself, I'm not really into the beta testing thing, as excited as I am for this game, or sim. I know people get mad when it's a game, but it is still a video game at the end of the day, guys. But, you know, that it could be both a video game and a sim at the same time. Nothing wrong with that. So, but yeah, I'm not really interested in doing beta tests because I'll just get frustrated if things are broken in the game. I just don't really care to test things all that much. I'm just going to wait till the sim is released. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I want to once again thank you so much all for the love and support I've been getting these past few days. I'm honestly blown away that my last video got so many views. I think it's awesome. So thank you so much for the support, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you the next time I see you. And until then, guys, peace out and happy flying.